Beloved chosen ones, have you ever felt like your life is a mystery waiting to be unraveled? Like there's a reason why you've been tucked away from the world, hidden in plain sight, and yet carrying a purpose so profound it could reshape history? Let me tell you, this is no accident. You are not forgotten, nor are you overlooked. God has hidden you for a divine reason, shielding your gifts, your potential, and your destiny from those who wouldn't understand or appreciate their significance. Before we uncover the extraordinary truth of why you've been hidden, let's take a moment to honor this sacred space we share. To those who have supported this channel through your heartfelt super thanks, your generosity fuels this mission of spreading hope and faith. Thank you for your unwavering kindness. You are a blessing to this community. And to everyone watching, let's amplify this message of divine purpose together. Comment 777 below. If you feel a stirring in your spirit, a sense that God has set you apart for something greater, your voice matters, and your declaration is a testament to the perfection and awakening God is bringing into your life. Now, think about this. Why does God go to such great lengths to protect the treasures He's placed within you? Why would He choose to keep your extraordinary gifts hidden until the right moment? Just like diamonds, which are formed under immense pressure and revealed only in their brilliance, your journey has been one of divine preparation. But what happens when God decides it's time for the world to see what He's been cultivating in the shadows? What will unfold when your superpowers are finally unveiled? Stay with me as we delve deeper into this mystery, uncovering the divine strategy behind your hidden season and exploring how God is preparing you for an unveiling that will leave the world in awe. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Let's dive in. God's chosen ones, God hid you because your superpowers are a top secret only few can handle. One, your hiddenness is your training ground, not a punishment. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why God has kept you hidden? Why, despite the fire within you, the world doesn't yet see who you truly are? Let me reassure you, this hiddenness is not a punishment. It's your training ground. It's not rejection, it's divine preparation. God isn't hiding you to hold you back. He's refining you for a purpose so powerful, so life-altering, that it requires time and precision. Think of Moses, a man destined to deliver an entire nation. Yet, before he stood before Pharaoh and parted the Red Sea, Moses spent 40 years hidden in the wilderness. Why? Because the wilderness wasn't a place of exile. It was a place of preparation. In the silence of the desert, God taught Moses humility, perseverance, and trust. Could Moses have led Israel without that preparation? Would he have been ready to carry the weight of such a calling? Reflect for a moment. What is God teaching you in your hidden season? What part of your character is He shaping for the future He's preparing for you? The hiddenness of the chosen isn't about delay, it's about refinement. Raw power is like fire. If it's unleashed without control, it can destroy instead of creating. Picture a sword being forged. A blacksmith doesn't place it in a display case until it's been through the fire, hammered repeatedly, and cooled for strength. It's a long, intense process, but the result is a weapon that cannot be broken. You too are being forged in the fire. Could it be that every hardship, every unnoticed effort, and every quiet moment of growth is part of God's master plan to make you unshakable? Even King David, chosen as a boy to lead a kingdom, wasn't placed on the throne immediately. He spent years tending sheep, battling lions and bears in obscurity. This wasn't wasted time, it was preparation. As it's written in 1 Samuel 17:37, David declared, The Lord who rescued me from the paw of the lion and the paw of the bear will rescue me from the hand of this Philistine. Have you thought about the battles you've faced in the unseen? Consider the victories God has already secured for you in silence, preparing you for something far greater. The hidden season is also a shield, protecting your gift from premature exposure. You've been set apart, not sidelined. Exposure comes with pressure, opinions, and distractions that can dilute your uniqueness. God is preserving you, ensuring that by the time you step into your calling, you are unshakable, incorruptible, and ready to stand firm. Consider Jesus himself. He spent 30 years in obscurity before beginning his 3-year ministry that changed the world. Why? Because even the Savior of mankind needed a season of preparation. Being hidden can feel like being overlooked, but it's the opposite. God doesn't invest time refining something ordinary. He takes his time with what is extraordinary. As it says in Isaiah 64:8, "We are the clay, and you are our potter. We all are the work of your hand." Each moment of waiting, each season of silence, is God's hand shaping you into a masterpiece. Do you notice the shaping happening within you? Can you sense the transformation, even if the world doesn't yet see it? When your unveiling comes, and it will be more than just an arrival. It will be an awakening. You won't simply step into your destiny, you'll command it. The world will see the strength, the resilience, and the divine power God has cultivated in you. As Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." And your time, dear chosen one, is drawing near. Take a moment to reflect. Will you trust the process? Will you embrace this season of hiddenness as the ultimate act of God's love and investment in you? The one who formed the stars is forming you, and when the time is right, he will reveal the masterpiece you were always meant to be. 2. Visibility. Too soon can be destructive. Chosen. 1. Have you ever felt frustrated by the waiting? Wondered why the doors haven't opened yet, or why the world hasn't seen the brilliance God has placed within you? Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Being revealed too soon can be one of the most destructive things that can happen to someone destined for greatness. There's an immense weight to being seen, a responsibility that comes with stepping into the spotlight. It doesn't just illuminate your strengths, it magnifies your weaknesses. Imagine a house built on a shaky foundation. From the outside, it may look impressive, but under pressure, every crack becomes glaringly obvious. If God were to unveil you before your foundation was solid, the criticism, pressure, and expectations could threaten everything he's building within you. Could it be that this waiting is his way of protecting you from a premature collapse? Think of Joseph, the dreamer. As a young man, God gave him visions of greatness, showing him that one day even his brothers would bow before him. Yet, instead of placing him immediately in a position of power, Joseph was hidden, sold into slavery, imprisoned unjustly, and forgotten for years. Why? Because God knew the path to the throne required more than talent. It required character. By the time Joseph stood before Pharaoh and saved Egypt from famine, he wasn't just a dreamer, he was a leader. Genesis 50:20 reminds us of Joseph's perspective. You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. What about you? What challenges in your hidden season might God be using to prepare you for the very platform you've been waiting for? Visibility amplifies everything. It doesn't just showcase your brilliance, it tests your resilience. The opposition, temptations, and challenges of being seen are not for the faint-hearted. Consider David again, who waited years after being anointed king to actually wear the crown. He endured betrayal, isolation, and countless battles. If David had taken the throne before his heart was ready, would he have become the man described as a man after God's own heart in Acts 13:22? What lessons might God be teaching you in this waiting season to ensure your heart is ready for the weight of your calling? God doesn't hold you back out of cruelty. He holds you back out of love. He sees the full picture, the temptations you'll face, the enemies who'll rise against you, and the strength you'll need to stand firm. He's not just preparing you to survive the challenges of visibility, he's preparing you to thrive in them. Think of how many people have been thrust into success or prominence only to fall apart under its weight. How many times have we seen someone reach the pinnacle too quickly, only to be undone by the very spotlight they craved? God refuses to let that happen to his chosen ones. Being hidden is not a delay, it's a divine strategy. God is aligning your power, your purpose, and your preparedness so that when he reveals you, it won't be shaky or uncertain. It will be undeniable. To everything there is a season, as it says in Ecclesiastes 3:1, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Your season of hiddenness is not wasted. It's building something enduring. When your moment comes, and it will, you won't just step forward, you'll step forward with authority. You'll stand firm, knowing you've been shaped, tested, and refined by God himself. The world won't just see you. They'll understand why God kept you hidden for so long. So, trust the process. What God is building in you isn't temporary, it's eternal. And when you finally step into the light, you won't just shine, you'll radiate his glory, unstoppable and unshakable. 3. Your isolation was a shield from contamination. Chosen one, have you ever felt the sting of isolation, wondering why God seemed to keep you apart from certain people, places, or opportunities? It's tempting to view this separation as rejection, but let me assure you, your isolation was never about rejection. It was always about protection. When God keeps you hidden, it's often to shield you from environments, people, or situations that could contaminate the sacred purpose he has placed within you. Being chosen means carrying something rare, something extraordinary, and rare things require extraordinary care. Think of a seed. If it's planted in poor soil, it can never grow into the flourishing tree it's meant to become. Some environments would have stifled your growth, manipulated your identity, or even convinced you to abandon your calling altogether. Could it be that God separated you because he knew those spaces couldn't nurture the masterpiece he's crafting in you? Consider Noah, who was instructed by God to build an ark, isolating him and his family from a world destined for destruction. As the rest of humanity mocked him, Noah remained obedient. Why? Because he understood that his isolation wasn't abandonment, it was preservation. Genesis 6:9 tells us, Noah was a righteous man, blameless among the people of his time, and he walked faithfully with God. Could God be calling you to walk faithfully, even in isolation, trusting that he is shielding you from what could compromise your purpose? Your isolation isn't just about protecting you from external threats. It's also about guarding the sacredness of what you carry. The truth is, not everyone can handle your power or your purpose. Some would try to twist it, diminish it, or mold it into something it was never meant to be. Think of Joseph again. His brothers, blinded by jealousy, sold him into slavery because they couldn't see the greatness of the dreams God had given him. If Joseph had shared his vision with the wrong people, could it have been destroyed before it even began? God knows that premature exposure can lead to misunderstanding and even rejection. The very people who could benefit most from your gifts might misinterpret them if revealed too soon. John 1:10-11 reminds us, He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Even Jesus himself experienced the pain of being misunderstood. But God, in his infinite wisdom, knows how to preserve his chosen ones until the world is ready to receive them, and until they are ready to thrive within it. Being hidden isn't isolation, it's insulation. It's about preserving the essence of who you are while God continues to shape you into the fullness of your potential. Have you ever considered that this season of separation is God's way of safeguarding the gifts he's placed in you? He isn't just protecting you from others, he's protecting others from mishandling what you carry. God didn't hide you because you weren't ready to be great. He hid you because he wasn't about to let anyone distort or destroy what he's building in you. Just as he protected Esther in the palace, keeping her identity hidden until the right moment, he is positioning you for something extraordinary. Esther 4:14 reminds us, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Could it be that God is preparing to unveil you at precisely the right time, in the perfect place, with everything you need to thrive? When God's timing comes, and it will come, he will place you exactly where you need to be. By then, you won't just survive in the world, you'll thrive in it, and no one will be able to question who you are or what you've been called to do. Hiddenness was never rejection. It was your safeguard, your shield, and your preparation all along. So, dear chosen one, embrace this season of isolation, not as a curse, but as a blessing. Trust that God is preserving you, not punishing you. And remember, when the time comes, the unveiling will be undeniable, and your impact will be unstoppable. 4. You were built for the battle after the spotlight. Chosen one, being called by God isn't just about stepping into the spotlight. It's about being ready for the battles that follow. The truth is, the moment you are revealed, the real challenges begin. Influence doesn't come without cost. It brings attention, and with attention comes pressure, scrutiny, and even opposition. Are you ready for what happens when the applause fades and the trials begin? This hidden season is God's way of ensuring you're not only prepared for the spotlight, but fortified for the aftermath. Think of Jesus after his baptism, when the heavens opened and God declared, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased." Matthew 3:17. What followed? Not accolades or immediate acceptance, but a journey into the wilderness where he was tested by the enemy. 40 days of hunger, temptation, and isolation. Why? Because before stepping into his public ministry, Jesus had to solidify his strength for the battles ahead. Could it be that your hidden season is your wilderness, a place where God is equipping you to withstand the trials that come with your calling? The spotlight doesn't just illuminate your achievements, it exposes every vulnerability. Influence can attract not only followers, but also critics, envy, and unseen spiritual opposition. If you step into this without resilience, the very platform you prayed for could become the thing that overwhelms you. God, in his wisdom, is not rushing your unveiling, because he knows that enduring impact requires more than talent. It requires fortitude. What you're building now, in the unseen, will determine how you stand when the storms of visibility come. Consider David again, who after defeating Goliath and earning praise from the people, immediately faced jealousy from King Saul. 1 Samuel 18:9 tells us, "And from that time on, Saul kept a close eye on David." David's battle didn't end with the giant. It intensified as he navigated betrayal, danger, and years of being pursued. Yet, his time in hiding had prepared him not just to fight, but to lead with integrity and endurance. Do you see how God might be doing the same with you? How he's using this season to build resilience for battles you haven't yet faced? Hiddenness is where you learn to stand firm in your identity without needing validation from others. It's where you develop the strength to keep going when the applause stops and the challenges start to feel personal. This isn't just about honing your skills or clarifying your purpose. It's about fortification. You're not being trained for a role, you're being armed for a war. And the battlefield isn't always physical. It's emotional, spiritual, and unseen. Have you noticed how God is sharpening not just your abilities but your heart, your discernment, and your endurance? God's timing is perfect, and when He finally unveils you, it won't be to satisfy a craving for attention or recognition. It will be because you're ready to handle the weight of your calling and the resistance that comes with it. Isaiah 41:10 offers this assurance. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. You're not stepping into the spotlight alone. God's hand will uphold you, guiding you through every challenge. This isn't about fleeting fame or temporary applause. It's about enduring impact. You weren't chosen to entertain or seek validation. You were chosen to lead, to fight, and to conquer battles most people won't even see coming. Think of Esther, who was hidden in the palace until her moment of bravery came. When the time was right, she didn't hesitate to fight for her people. Esther 4:14 reminds us, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Could it be that your hiddenness is God's way of preparing you for your such a time as this moment? God isn't just preparing you to shine. He's preparing you to endure, to fight, and to triumph long after the spotlight shifts. When the battles come, and they will, you will be ready. Because in this hidden season, God isn't just giving you the tools to succeed. He's giving you the armor to win. Chosen one, trust that every moment in the shadows is building a strength within you that no force can shake. And when your time comes, you won't just step into your purpose, you'll thrive in it, no matter the challenges ahead. 5. Silence builds unshakable focus. Chosen one, have you ever stopped to realize the gift in your silence? In a world consumed by noise, endless opinions, distractions, and the frantic rush to be seen, your quiet years were not a punishment. They were a sacred training ground. While others were chasing applause, you were being sharpened in solitude. You were learning the art of focus, a skill so rare and so essential that it can only be forged in silence. Think of Elijah, the prophet who performed miracles and called down fire from heaven. Yet even Elijah needed silence. After a great victory over the prophets of Baal, Elijah found himself fleeing into the wilderness, overwhelmed and seeking God's guidance. There, on Mount Horeb, God revealed himself. Not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in a gentle whisper. 1 Kings 19:11-12. Could it be that your silent season is where God is whispering to you, teaching you to tune out the noise and lock onto His voice? Silence is more than an absence of sound. It's the presence of clarity. It's where distractions fall away, leaving you face to face with your purpose. In those quiet seasons, you weren't being overlooked. You were being molded. You were learning to rely on God, to rely on yourself, and to discern what truly matters. This wasn't wasted time. It was sacred preparation, building within you an unshakable focus that the noise of the world could never disrupt. Focus isn't just a skill, it's a survival tool. The chosen can't afford to be distracted by every passing trend or consumed by the chatter of critics. In the silence, you were trained to see what others miss, to prioritize what others overlook, and to build a foundation so solid that no storm can shake it. Imagine Noah, quietly building the ark for years while the world scoffed at his obedience. His silence wasn't emptiness, It was focus. And that focus saved humanity. Have you ever considered that your quiet season might be your ark, preparing you for the storms ahead? Self-reliance doesn't mean isolation. It means learning to stand firm, even when no one is clapping for you. It's about developing the discipline to keep going when no one is watching, to refine your gifts without seeking recognition. Jesus himself often withdrew to quiet places to pray and refocus, even in the midst of his ministry. Luke 5:16 says, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." Silence wasn't just a pause, it was his source of power. And here's the beauty of it: when the noise finally does come, when the attention, opinions, and distractions flood in, you won't crumble under it. You've been conditioned to thrive without needing external validation. You've learned to cut through the chaos and tune into the one voice that matters. This is your edge. While others chase after fleeting noise, you've mastered the ability to lock onto your purpose and move forward with unwavering clarity. How will you use the strength forged in your silence to face the noise ahead? The world often mistakes silence for absence, but for you, silence has been the birthplace of power. It's where your vision was sharpened, your resilience was strengthened, and your faith was fortified. As Psalm 46:6-10 reminds us, "Be still and know that I am God." In your stillness, God was building a foundation within you that no storm could shake. Chosen one, your silence was never emptiness. It was focus. It was God's way of clearing the path so that nothing would cloud your vision. While others scramble to find their footing in the noise, you stand steady, rooted in the discipline and clarity forged in solitude. The world will see your impact, but only you and God will know the depth of what was built in the quiet. That is your gift. That is your power. 6. Your delayed introduction was strategic. Chosen one. Have you ever questioned why your moment hasn't come yet? Why, despite your readiness to step forward, God seems to hold you back? Let me assure you, your delayed introduction was no accident. It was strategy. God, the master planner, knows that timing is everything. Just as in a game of chess, where the most powerful pieces are kept in reserve until the critical moment, God has been positioning you for maximum impact. Moving too soon, whether in a game or in life, could leave you vulnerable. Your delay wasn't about holding you back. It was about setting the stage for your victory. Think of Esther, a young Jewish woman hidden in the palace of a foreign king. For years, her identity and purpose remained concealed, but God was orchestrating events behind the scenes. When the moment came for Esther to step forward and save her people, her timing was perfect. Esther 4:14 reminds us of Mordecai's words, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Could it be that God has been carefully aligning every detail of your life for a moment only He can see? Every delay had a purpose. There were people who needed to exit your life before your unveiling, people who could not go where God is taking you. There were systems, opportunities, and even enemies that had to align for the stage to be set. Revealing you too early would have been like lighting a fire in the middle of a storm. It would have been extinguished before it could grow. God's delays are never denials. They are preparation. What may have felt like stagnation was actually divine strategy, ensuring that when you step forward, nothing can stop what He has planned for you. Think about Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, imprisoned for a crime he didn't commit, and forgotten by those he helped. Joseph's life seemed like a series of delays, but each trial was a step closer to his ultimate purpose. When Pharaoh finally summoned him, Joseph wasn't just a dreamer. He was a leader, equipped to save an entire nation. Genesis 50:20 reflects Joseph's understanding of God's strategy. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Have you considered that your waiting season might be positioning you for something even greater than you imagined? What's truly incredible is that while it may have felt like nothing was happening, everything was moving behind the scenes. God was preparing you, yes, but He was also preparing the world for you. Every trial, every delay, every locked door was building the foundation you'll need to not only step into your purpose, but to sustain it. This wasn't wasted time. It was strategic growth. You've been gaining the wisdom, resilience, and strength to carry the weight of your calling. And when your moment finally comes, and it will, you'll understand why the waiting was necessary. Every closed door, every delayed opportunity, and every seemingly stagnant season will suddenly make sense. God's timing is never off. Habakkuk 2:3 reminds us, "For the vision is yet for the appointed time. It hastens toward the goal, and it will not fail. Though it tarries, wait for it will certainly come. It will not delay." You weren't being forgotten. You were being positioned. When God moves, it's not just a step forward, it's a checkmate. The unveiling He has planned for you won't just make an impact, it will change the game entirely. Chosen one, trust in the delay, for it is the mark of a masterful strategy. When the time comes, you'll see that every moment of waiting was worth it. 7. Your power is designed to terrify darkness. Chosen. 1. Have you ever considered that the very reason you've faced so much resistance is because of the power you carry? Your gifts were never ordinary. They were crafted by God to disrupt, dismantle, and destroy the forces of darkness. The enemy's greatest fear isn't your existence, it's your activation. It's the moment you step fully into your calling, completely aware of who you are and the divine authority you carry. That's why so much effort has been spent trying to keep you hidden, distracted, or discouraged. Think of Gideon, who, despite feeling unworthy and insignificant, was called by God to lead Israel to victory. The angel of the Lord greeted him not as he saw himself, but as God saw him. "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Judges 6:12. Gideon's power terrified the enemy because it was not in his might, but in God's. Could it be that the opposition you've faced isn't about what you've done, but about what you're destined to do? Your gifts were never meant to be for show. They were meant to be weapons. When you activate, strongholds built on lies begin to crumble. Chains that have bound people for generations start to break. The light you carry doesn't just illuminate, it exposes and eradicates darkness. This is why you've been hidden, not as a punishment, but as preparation. Raw power, without the wisdom to wield it, can be unpredictable. God, in His wisdom, has been refining you, ensuring that when you step out, you will be unstoppable. Consider Jesus at the start of His ministry. After being baptized and affirmed by the Father, He didn't immediately perform miracles. Instead, He was led into the wilderness to be tested and strengthened. Matthew 4:1-11. Why? Because before He could disrupt the darkness, He had to confront it head-on. Could your hidden season be your wilderness, where God is strengthening you for the battles ahead? Darkness thrives on confusion, fear, and lies, but your gifts are designed to confront these forces with truth, courage, and clarity. Whether it's through your voice, your creativity, your leadership, or simply your presence, you are a vessel of divine power. Your very existence as a child of light is a threat to everything that opposes God's kingdom. John 1:5 declares, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." This is the power you carry, the light that darkness cannot withstand. You're not here just to exist. You're here to shift atmospheres, disrupt the plans of the enemy, and bring freedom to those who've been bound. Your hidden season wasn't about avoiding the enemy. It was about becoming someone the enemy can't stop. Every trial, every delay, and every moment of silence was sharpening you for this moment. By the time you emerge, you won't just shine, you'll terrify the darkness. Think about this. When you step into your purpose, the very things that once intimidated you will realize they were never prepared for you. Are you ready to embrace the fullness of your power, knowing that God has equipped you for this moment? What chains around you or others is your light destined to break? God has equipped you with everything you need to confront and conquer. The chains that once bound you are now your testimony, and the darkness that tried to silence you is now trembling at your awakening. Isaiah 61 calls to you, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." Chosen one, you are not just a beacon of hope, you are a weapon of divine power. When you walk into the room, darkness has no choice but to flee. And when you step fully into your calling, you won't just disrupt the plans of the enemy, you'll dismantle them entirely. How will you use this divine power to transform the lives of those around you and bring glory to God's name? Trust the process, embrace the preparation, and know that when your time comes, you will be ready. The world isn't just waiting for you, it needs you. 8. You're the answer to a problem not yet revealed. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why God has kept you in the background even when you feel ready to step forward? Let me assure you, it's not because you're lacking. It's because you were created to be the answer to a problem that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. God doesn't create haphazardly. Every life He breathes into existence is intentional, and you are no exception. Your gifts, talents, and unique perspective were designed for a specific moment in history, a moment when the world will cry out for the very solution you carry. Think about this. Solutions are often overlooked until the problem becomes undeniable. Consider Joseph, who was sold into slavery and spent years in prison before stepping into his divine purpose. It wasn't until Pharaoh had a dream that no one could interpret that Joseph's gift was recognized and his purpose revealed. Genesis 41:16 records Joseph's humble response, "I cannot do it." Joseph replied to Pharaoh, "But God will give Pharaoh the answer he desires." Could it be that your hidden season is God's way of positioning you for a moment when your gifts will be undeniable and irreplaceable? Have you considered that the very delays you've experienced are part of God's strategy to align your purpose with the world's need? Now, the challenges you were created to conquer are still brewing. The world hasn't yet realized the full extent of the problems your calling was designed to solve. Revealing you prematurely would have risked your purpose being misunderstood, diminished, or even ignored. God sees the bigger picture, the storms ahead, the gaps in the world that only you can fill, and He's ensuring that when the time comes, you will be ready. This isn't just about timing, it's about alignment. God is orchestrating every detail to ensure that your unveiling coincides with the world's readiness to receive you. You aren't just a solution, you're a transformational force. You're not being refined for an ordinary role. You're being prepared for a moment so pivotal that it will change lives, shift atmospheres, and alter futures. Habakkuk 2:3 reminds us, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time. It speaks of the end and will not prove false. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." While you wait, God is sharpening your abilities, expanding your capacity, and strengthening you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. This waiting season may feel frustrating, but it's purposeful. It's where your character is being shaped and your endurance is being fortified. Think of David, anointed as king, but sent back to the fields to tend sheep. It wasn't a demotion, it was preparation for leading a kingdom. Could your waiting season be God's way of ensuring you have everything you need to step into the magnitude of your purpose? When your moment comes, and it will be undeniable, you'll step into it fully equipped, meeting a need so specific that the world will wonder how it ever existed without you. You aren't late. You're perfectly on time for the moment your purpose was designed to meet. But are you ready to embrace the magnitude of what's ahead? Can you trust that every delay, every frustration, and every hidden season has been God's way of aligning you for impact? Chosen one, know this. You aren't just part of God's plan, you're a pivotal piece of it. The world may not yet recognize the significance of your role, but God does. And when the appointed time arrives, you'll see how every step, every trial, and every moment of waiting was preparing you for a purpose that only you can fulfill. 9. You were made to redefine power. Chosen. 1. Have you ever felt like you don't fit into the world's definition of power? That's because you weren't meant to. The world defines power through dominance, control, and visibility. But the power you carry was never meant to conform to those limits. You weren't created to simply take up space or demand respect. You were made to redefine what true power is. Your power doesn't need to dominate or shout to prove its worth. Think of Jesus, whose power was unparalleled yet expressed through humility and service. Philippians 2:6-7 reminds us, who, being in very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant. Could it be that the quiet strength you carry, the kind that heals, uplifts, and transforms, is precisely what makes you revolutionary? True power isn't about being flashy or demanding attention. It's about quietly moving mountains, shifting mindsets, and transforming lives. Your authority comes from your ability to elevate others, to heal what's broken, and to create something new and profound. Have you noticed how your presence alone has the power to inspire and uplift? Whether it's through your words, your actions, or even your silence, you carry a strength that transcends the superficial definitions of power the world clings to. Could it be that your unique calling is designed to show the world a new kind of strength? The world teaches that power is about standing at the top, about crushing the competition, or ensuring that everyone knows your name. But the kind of power you possess is far greater. It's the power to serve, to create, and to love. It's a power that restores what was broken, frees those who were bound, and builds what others thought was lost. Think of Esther, whose influence didn't come from domination, but from courage and selflessness. She risked her life to save her people, embodying the kind of power that redefines leadership. Esther 4:14 asks, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" When you step into your purpose, you won't just hold influence, you'll carry authority, the kind that shifts systems, breaks generational cycles, and redefines leadership. Your power will be revolutionary, not because it seeks to control, but because it seeks to free. How will you use this transformative strength to bring healing and hope to those around you? The power you carry is dangerous to darkness because it doesn't tear down, it builds up. It doesn't enslave, it liberates. This is the kind of power that Jesus demonstrated when he washed the feet of his disciples, when he healed the sick, and when he gave his life for others. Matthew 20:26-28 reminds us, "Whoever wants to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wants to be first must be your slave. Just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Are you ready to redefine greatness in the same way? Chosen one, your superpowers weren't designed to make you famous. They were designed to transform the world's understanding of what it means to be powerful. You carry the kind of strength that shifts paradigms, breaks toxic systems, and leaves a legacy of freedom, healing, and love. When you step into this calling, the impact will be nothing short of revolutionary. 10. Your superpowers were hidden to protect others. Chosen. 1. Have you ever wondered why your gifts, as extraordinary as they are, have remained hidden for so long? It wasn't out of limitation, it was out of protection. God, in his infinite wisdom, knew that if your full strength had been revealed too early, it might have unintentionally caused harm to those who weren't ready to align with the magnitude of your purpose. Your gifts were never just about you. They come with a sacred responsibility, a responsibility to use them wisely and in harmony with God's timing. Could it be that God has been preparing not only you, but also those around you to receive the full weight of what you carry? Power, when not handled with wisdom and maturity, can overwhelm and disrupt. Think of Moses, whose calling to deliver Israel was clear even as a young man. Yet, in his impatience, he acted prematurely and killed an Egyptian, leading to years of exile in the wilderness. Exodus 2:11-15. It wasn't until Moses encountered God at the burning bush that his power was refined and aligned with God's plan. Could your hidden season be your wilderness, where God is ensuring that your gifts are tempered with wisdom and discernment? Imagine your potential unleashed before it was fully developed. It would be like giving a child a loaded weapon. Not out of malice, but out of immaturity, the results could be devastating. Have you considered that your hiddenness isn't just for your growth, but for the protection of others? God allowed you to grow in obscurity so that your character, patience, and discernment could be refined. What lessons are you learning now that will ensure you wield your power responsibly when the time comes? This isn't just about protecting you, it's about safeguarding those around you. Your gifts have the potential to heal, uplift, and transform, but they also carry weight. Jesus himself demonstrated this balance. Even as the Son of God, he often withdrew from crowds to pray and prepare, ensuring his power was always used in alignment with his Father's will. John 5:19 reminds us of his humility. Very truly, I tell you, the Son can do nothing by himself. He can do only what he sees his Father doing, because whatever the Father does, the Son also does. What would it look like for you to align your gifts so closely with God's purpose? How might your gifts, when fully realized, bring restoration and healing to those who need them most? God's timing is perfect. When the world is ready, and when you are fully prepared, your power won't just be a blessing to you, it will overflow to everyone you're called to serve. Think of Joseph, whose hidden years prepared him to save not only Egypt, but also his own family. By the time his gifts were revealed, he didn't use them to boast or dominate. He used them to restore and heal. Genesis 50:20 reminds us, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Chosen one. Your hidden season isn't just about your preparation, it's about the preparation of those around you. God is aligning every detail so that when you step into your purpose, your gifts will be a blessing, not a burden. Are you willing to trust his timing, knowing that he's not only refining you, but also preparing the hearts and minds of those you're meant to impact? Until then, remember this: your waiting is purposeful. It's ensuring that when you step into the fullness of your calling, you'll do so with maturity, wisdom, and love. When the time comes, your gifts will not only transform your own life, but also bring healing, freedom, and hope to others. This is the power you were created to carry, and when it is revealed, it will be nothing short of extraordinary. 11. Hiddenness amplifies the supernatural. Chosen heir. So 1. Have you ever felt like your time in the shadows has been more about waiting than progress? Let me tell you, God's plan for your hiddenness is about far more than timing. It's about amplifying the unseen aspects of your power. While the world may equate strength with wealth, visibility, or physical dominance, your true superpowers lie in what can't be seen. Your faith, your intuition, and your discernment, these are the forces shaping your destiny. Could it be that God is using this season to refine these supernatural gifts in ways that will transform everything once you step into the light? Faith, the foundation of all true power, is strengthened in hiddenness. When you don't have external validation or visible success, you learn to trust in what isn't seen, God's plan, the process, and the potential He's placed within you. Hebrews 11:1 reminds us, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." What has God been teaching you to trust in during this season? This kind of faith, rooted in unseen promises, becomes unshakable. It allows you to stand firm even when circumstances feel uncertain, even when the world tells you to give up. Could it be that the delays and quiet moments have been God's way of deepening your roots for the storms ahead? Intuition, another supernatural gift, is sharpened in silence. While others are consumed by the noise of the world, you are being attuned to the whispers of the Spirit. This isn't about gut feelings or logical predictions. It's divine guidance. Think of Joseph interpreting Pharaoh's dreams, or Nehemiah discerning the right time to rebuild Jerusalem's walls. Both were guided by something beyond human understanding. Isaiah 30:21 speaks to this gift. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way. Walk in it." Have you noticed how moments of silence in your life have clarified decisions or revealed insights no one else could see? Hiddenness aligns your spirit with God's voice, making your path clearer even when others remain in confusion. Discernment, perhaps the sharpest of these gifts, is forged in solitude. When you are hidden, you learn to discern not just people and situations, but also the deeper rhythms of life itself. Consider Jesus, who often withdrew to pray and align with the Father's will before making pivotal decisions. Luke 6:12-13 tells us, "One of those days Jesus went out to a mountainside to pray and spent the night praying to God. When morning came, he called his disciples to him and chose 12 of them." Have you ever felt that your quiet seasons are teaching you to sense the right time, the right people, and the right moves in your journey? Hiddenness sharpens this ability, equipping you to navigate the complexities of life with supernatural clarity. When the time comes for you to step into the light, these unseen gifts will become your greatest strengths. The faith that was built in silence will keep you unshaken in the face of adversity. The intuition honed in hiddenness will guide you to make decisions others wouldn't dare to, and the discernment refined in solitude will allow you to see what others miss, empowering you to lead with wisdom and purpose. How will you use these gifts, so carefully nurtured in hiddenness, to impact the world around you? Chosen one, the world may value what is loud and visible, but the supernatural gifts God is building in you during this season are far more powerful. These gifts, amplified in hiddenness, will not only guide you, but also transform the lives of those you're called to serve. Trust the process, lean into the silence, and know that God is working in ways unseen to prepare you for something extraordinary. 12. Revelation without preparation leads to destruction. Chosen one, have you ever longed for your moment of revelation, only to feel like it's taking longer than you expected? What if this waiting isn't a delay, but an act of divine kindness? God knows something we often forget. Revelation without preparation can lead to destruction. Imagine stepping into visibility or power before you've developed the inner strength, wisdom, and resilience to carry it. Could it be that God's hiddenness is His way of protecting you from being overwhelmed by a platform you weren't yet built to sustain? Consider the story of King Saul, whose rise to power was swift, but whose lack of preparation led to his downfall. Unlike David, who spent years being refined in the wilderness, Saul's kingship crumbled under the weight of his calling. 1 Samuel 15:22-23 highlights this. To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Could it be that your hidden season is God's way of ensuring your character is as strong as your calling? God doesn't just want you to be seen. He wants you to thrive when you're seen. That's why He allows seasons of hiddenness, where growth happens beneath the surface. In the silence, your character is being shaped, your skills are being refined, and your spirit is being aligned with your purpose. Think of a seed planted deep in the soil. Though it's unseen, it's not stagnant. Its roots are growing stronger, anchoring it for the storms it will face once it breaks through the surface. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. What roots are you building now that will anchor you when your time comes? When God finally reveals you, it won't be a matter of survival. It will be about flourishing. Hiddenness gives you the time to develop the emotional resilience and spiritual depth needed to navigate the weight of your calling. Could you imagine the pressures of influence without the preparation to withstand them? The applause and attention can be as heavy as the responsibility itself, and without a strong foundation, even the most promising platform can feel like a prison. How is God strengthening your foundation in this season? Consider Jesus, who spent 30 years in obscurity before his 3 years of ministry. Even as the Son of God, he went through a period of preparation before stepping into the fullness of his calling. Luke 2:52 tells us, "And Jesus grew in wisdom and stature and in favor with God and man." If even Jesus needed hidden years, could your season of waiting be God's way of ensuring you're equipped for what's ahead? When the time comes, you won't just carry the weight of your purpose. You'll carry it with grace and strength. Isaiah 40:31 offers this assurance. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. The hidden years are not punishment. They are a kindness, ensuring you're ready for the challenges and opportunities to come. Chosen one, the waiting isn't wasted. Every trial, every quiet moment, and every doubt is part of a greater plan. God isn't withholding your purpose. He's refining you, equipping you with the supernatural tools needed, not just to survive, but to thrive. When your moment of revelation comes, it will be undeniable. You'll step forward with unshakable confidence, unyielding focus, and a power that will leave an impact no one can deny. This preparation is not a delay. It's a divine investment in the extraordinary destiny that awaits you. Chosen one, let this truth settle in your heart. You weren't hidden because you weren't ready. You were hidden because the world wasn't ready for the full force of your purpose. God is not interested in fleeting moments of success or superficial recognition. He is building something enduring in you, a legacy that will not only transform your life, but ripple out to heal, restore, and revolutionize the lives of others. Your power was never about dominance or visibility. It was always about bringing light to dark places, hope to the broken, and freedom to the bound. This season of hiddenness is not wasted. It's the quiet before the storm, the preparation before the revelation, and the forging of a foundation strong enough to support everything that's coming next. When God finally reveals you, it won't just be a reveal, it will be a revolution. You will stand as someone who wasn't just chosen, but someone who was shaped, strengthened, and equipped to carry the weight of your calling with grace and power. As you continue this journey, keep trusting the process. Every step, every trial, and every moment of waiting is purposeful. Your time is coming, and when it does, the world will see the masterpiece God has been crafting in you all along. If this message has spoken to your heart and inspired you to embrace your hidden season with hope and purpose, I invite you to like and share this with others who might need this encouragement. Together, we can spread this powerful truth to those waiting for their moment to shine. Don't stop here. Subscribe and become part of this incredible community of chosen ones. This is where we grow together, where we learn to unlock what's been hidden within us, and where we prepare for the extraordinary future God has planned. You don't want to miss the insights, revelations, and encouragement that are waiting for you here. As you move forward, may God's favor rest upon you. May He strengthen your faith, sharpen your gifts, and guide your steps as you walk into the fullness of your purpose. May you be filled with peace in the waiting, courage in the preparation, and confidence when your time arrives. Remember, you are not alone. God is with you, shaping you for something extraordinary. Chosen one, your time is coming. And when it does, it will be more than you've ever imagined. Stay strong, stay focused, and stay ready. Blessings to you on this powerful journey.